Good morning. I want to talk about something today. Well, something different to what I was going to talk about in the first place. Something's just happened on the car park that's made me think, and it involved two people I actually know, or at least I know to say hello to and pass the time of day with. Molly and I had just arrived at the car park, and I got Molly out and I just put her down and I was just getting things out of the car when I heard this commotion, this awful commotion. Two voices, two women raised, one really aggressively shouting, and then this little dog, this little kind of white poodle creature flew across the car park. Its ears back, it was tiny, it was about the same size as Molly, and it was screaming. And there's one thing I hate, it's the sound of an animal in distress. It's the most pitiful sound going, because a person in distress will usually get a reaction off someone. An animal in distress is just hoping that someone will actually react to it. And behind this, there was a dog, a lot bigger, chasing it down, really chasing it down. And this little dog was terrified, and I could still hear this commotion going on about 30 or 40 yards away. And I trying to step sideways, because they were like coming towards me, to my right slightly. So I tried to move sideways, but of course they just swerved me, didn't they? And then, luckily, this bigger dog seemed to lose interest in the chase and just kind of turned round and cantered back towards its owner. And I looked over, and this little dog was cowering against the side of a car, and it was still screaming. It was just sitting there, not looking at anything in particular, because it was so terrified. Its little eyes were like bulging, it was screaming. So I went over to it, and I kind of bent down, but I thought, well, I don't want to kind of put my hand out to it. It's so terrified, it'd probably have a go at me, and I wouldn't blame it. And then its owner came walking over, and she was really upset. And I started talking to her, and she said, well, I was just walking, and this woman had these two dogs. And she said, my dog didn't do anything. And I could see that. You could see it was this little armless little thing that would fit in your palm of your hand. She said, these two dogs came running at it. And one of them carried on. This earlier dog ran away. So then the other woman started shouting aggressively at her that it was her fault and get it. So obviously this woman retaliated and started saying it's your fault, whilst she said she was trying to back away. He said it was her dog's fault. This woman was shouting, now you want to get that effing dog on a lead and effing. And the thing is, I knew these two dogs, and about 2 or 3 days before, I'd had exactly the same encounter with somebody who'd said their dog had been attacked. Well, not only said, I actually saw it. I saw the aftermath of it. I heard all the commotion and came round the corner, and they were there. This one was making no attempt at all to control dogs. They were like barking and yapping and snapping at this smaller dog. And she was taking absolutely none of the responsibility for it. And this is the problem in a world today. We don't take responsibility. Nobody seems to take responsibility, do they? They don't take responsibility for their actions. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always easier to say it's somebody else's fault. It's a default position nowadays to say, it's not me, it's you, I'm the victim. And this is exactly what this woman was doing. She was shouting. And the thing is, even the woman was bigger and heftier and taller, and she was beating down on this woman who was smaller, because she knew she'd got the advantage. She'd got the volume advantage, she'd got the size advantage, and she was a bully. And bullies always make themselves out to be the victims, don't they? And it was very distressing. And things like this stay with me all day, because I'll be thinking about that little dog. I'll be playing it over and over in my mind, that little dog screaming in terror. And this is society. This is just society. Where are we going? So much trouble in the world is caused by one party simply refusing to take responsibility when a single, sorry, I apologise, it was my fault, won't happen again, sorry, that would do. But no, because bullies see that as a sign of weakness. When actually, bullies, take note, that's a sign of strength. The bigger person is the person who has the strength of character to apologise and show contrition. That is strength. The weaker person is the bully who sees apologising as a sign of weakness, a stain on the character, because what they see as superiority is a superiority of size and volume, not of intellect or empathy or compassion, and this makes them the weak person. So whenever you come across somebody who's acting like a bully to you or somebody else, just be happy in the knowledge that you are the better person. There are bullies in the world, there will always be bullies in the world, and bullies usually get their comeuppance, and I'm sure that this person on the car park will eventually get their comeuppance, because they will probably try it on with somebody who isn't quite as tolerant, isn't quite as small, hasn't quite got the patience, and has got probably bigger fists. And then you F about and you find out. And it's sweet justice. And like revenge, it's best served cold. And this situation was just like that. The bully was the more aggressive person with the much more fragile ego and the bigger dog, and completely unable to take the blame for anything, and has gone through life, and you wonder what kind of a life they've had. Have they been told, you're a good person, you're a good kid, I'll pat you on the head, you can do no wrong? No! You've got to teach your kids to be tolerant, to take responsibility, to say sorry when they're in the wrong. Otherwise they end up like this person. And once you get to this stage in your life, that's it. This is you. This is you against the world. And it won't end well. It could probably end up with, in later life, I know friends, because everybody's got pissed off with you being aggressive and not taking the blame for anything, blaming everybody else and playing the victim, because there's nothing more boring and irritating than somebody who constantly plays the victim. We see it on the media all the time. You will get somebody, and this happens all the time, you see it, somebody who commits a crime and then immediately plays the victim, when if they thought about it, they could see that everybody in the world is brighter than they are. Everybody in the world can see through that. Everybody in the world can see them making a bigger fool of themselves than they already have. And who could do that? I couldn't do that, could you? I mean, if I do something wrong, I apologise before I've done it. I kind of preempt a mistake. It's like I said, I'm sorry, but I'm going to accidentally bump into you in a couple of seconds. You know, you just automatic, boom, apology, it's my fault, sorry. But some people, and I come across them all the time, and you come across them all the time, who can't do that. Who will bump into you and then give you that nasty look, or snigger with the friends or something like that. They, ladies and gentlemen, are the weaker person. You are the stronger one. You are the principled one. You are the one with strength of character. You are the more virtuous one. You are the more empathetic one. You are probably the more intelligent one. So carry that away with you. Whenever you come into a situation where you feel like stunning somebody on their head because of their attitude. And the world will be a much better place. If you're in the wrong, just say sorry, my fault, and move on. How many wars could have been averted if one party had said, I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a jerk, and move on? It's a beautiful day, it's a bit cooler, the wind is coming through the trees, there's a breeze, we've seen deer, there's sheep with lambs in the field behind me, there are squirrels running atop across the fence posts from one to the other all around us. There are birds. There are the crows in the distance behind me, which I've always told people, I've always said reminds me of the archetypal English countryside where you hear the crows and the distant church bells on a Sunday morning. It's absolutely wonderful. And it's green. It's so green, and it's going to get greener because we're going to have some rain after a long spell of dry weather, but I'm not bothered. I like the rain, we need the rain. Without the rain we wouldn't have this beauty. And it's being out in this beauty, I think, that gives me the peace which I kind of shove down everybody's throats in all these videos. So again, and I will say it again, as we walk out of the shadow, out of the shade of the trees, into the sun that suddenly come through that I wasn't expecting. So I will say it again, get out in nature as much as you can. Breathe in the cool, fresh air. Listen to the noises. Look at the trees and see the landscape. Don't just look at it, see it. And I promise you, it will put you in a much better frame of mind for you and your fellow man. Try slowing down a bit, try slow living a bit. Doesn't have to do a great bit of it, just a little bit. Every little bit helps. It really does. And I'm the product of that. And I'm very happy. And Molly's very happy. And we shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.